Besides, who didn't know that he had won a huge sum of money from betting on Chu Luiyue winning first place a few days ago? But the girl he met after he came out, as she was quite far away and Jian Fengqi and Shui Lu blocked her view, Jiang Yuji didn't see that person's face clearly. However, it was clearly a girl. Not only is that girl familiar with Jian Fengqi, but she also seems to know the girl who was auctioned. If not, the two of them wouldn't be so intimate. Also, I feel that the back view is a little familiar, as if I've seen it somewhere before. Yuji, what are you looking at? Xiahou Tingon walked out and followed her gaze. There was no one there, so he couldn't help but ask curiously. Jiang Yuji fell into deep thought. The 6 million just now was Jian Fengqi. Xiahou Tingon was shocked. It's actually him? No wonder he's so generous. A tinge of jealousy and injustice instantly arose in Xiahou Tingon's heart. Our statuses are clearly similar, but it's very difficult for me to buy a sword with 10,000 white crystals. On the other hand, Jian Fengqi casually threw out millions. The difference between them was like the difference between heaven and earth. Xiahou Tingon forced a smile and said, "You don't know this either. He has always been like this. Just because he's Dragon Teeth Mountain's young master, he can squander as much as he wants." Jiang Yuji lightly snorted. That's because he can earn it. If not, do you think Jian Shai will really let him go like this? Xiahou Tingon was stumped and his face looked awful. What does Jiang Yuji mean? She doesn't like him? Jiang Yuji didn't notice the change in his expression and unconsciously muttered, "But that girl." "Which girl?" asked Xiahou Tingon. Jiang Yuji briefly described the scene she just saw to him. Xiahou Tingon kept quiet for a while and suddenly thought of something. "Oh right, I just went to find out who else came today." "Guess who else came today?" "Who?" "A girl with the surname Chu." Xiahou Tingon pulled Jiang Yuji to the side and lowered his voice after confirming that there was no one around. Yuxiang Hall's people are very tight-lipped. No matter how you ask, they definitely won't reveal the identities of the VIPs in the rooms. But you can ask the page boys at the door. This was the method he previously mentioned to Jiang Yuji. Anyone who comes here has to enter from the main door, and the page boys remember it clearly. We've already seen the people on the first and second floors. The remaining people that we haven't seen are definitely in the rooms. I just went to ask, and there's indeed a new guest today. If I didn't guess wrongly, it should be Chu Luiyue. Xiahou Tingon couldn't hide his agitation. Actually, it wasn't easy to ask this and he still spent a lot of effort. But now it seems like it's worth it. Jiang Yuji first found it strange before she was shocked. Putting all these pieces together, we can basically guess it pretty much. Mu Hongyu nodded seriously and then a trace of worry appeared on her face. Of course it's good for me to stay here, but what about Yao Chen? My father and mother don't know where I am now and they don't know my situation. They must be worried sick. Chu Liwei asked, "Don't you have a way to contact them?" Mu Hongyu's expression was gloomy. "I did, but I've already lost everything I had on me when I fled all the way here." Chu Liwei thought about it and agreed. "I'll help you pass the message back." Mu Hongyu was relieved. The few of them chatted for a while. Chu Luiyue briefly recounted his experiences during this period of time, and then told Mu Hongyu many things about West Hill, telling her to be more careful to avoid trouble. In the end, Mu Hongyu reluctantly left with Jian Fengqi and Shui Lu. Fortunately, Jian Fengqi's medical skills were very good, so Chu Luiyue was not worried about Mu Hongyu's injuries. As long as Dragon Teeth Mountain could protect her, nothing else mattered. After sending them off, Chu Liwei sat down and began to write a letter. Ordinary people could not enter and exit Heaven's canopy at will, so if one wanted to communicate, the safest and most convenient way was to hire someone to deliver the letter. However, the cost was relatively high and ordinary people could not afford it. However, this was not a problem for Chu Liwei. After writing, she went out to deliver the letter. This letter was for Qi Han, who was still in Yaochen. Credibility was the most important thing in this kind of thing, so Chu Liwei was not worried that someone would open her letter halfway. Besides, even if it was opened, no one other than the 13U guard would be able to understand it. After doing this, Chu Liwei returned to the Chongshu Pavilion. When she met Yi Ranran at the mountain pass, before Chu Liwei could say anything, Yi Ranran asked, "Luyu, why are you only back now?" Chu Liwei saw that her expression was not right, so she asked, "What's wrong?" "What's wrong? What happened?" Ran walked to her side, his small round face full of worry. When Pavilion Master came back just now, his expression was a little strange. Then he went to the back of the mountain alone and stayed there for a long time. You might not know, but Pavilion Master's son is buried there. Actually, Pavilion Master rarely goes there. I don't know what happened today. Chu Liwei frowned slightly. Yuchi Song must have seen something in the zither room today and realized that her death back then was related to Jiang Yuqing. That was why he had such a reaction. However, she could not reveal her identity now, so it was difficult for her to persuade him. At this point it was useless to persuade him. She could only wait for him to calm down. Master said that you went out with Pavilion Master today. Do you know what's going on? Ran asked again. Jiang Yuqing suddenly said in a cold voice, "Get out." Jiang Yuji's heart trembled, and she seemed to have thrown caution to the wind as she sneered. Everyone thinks that you have a deep relationship with the third princess. But if that's really the case, why did you secretly draw the princess's portrait? Do you think I don't know? Pa. A crisp slap sounded. Jiang Yuqing looked at her coldly. I think you've been spoiled too much. During this period of time, stay in the residence and don't go anywhere. Jiang Yuji's head tilted to the side from the slap and she couldn't react in time. Jiang Yuqing had already left. Also, put your marriage with Xiahou Tingan on hold for now. Then he directly walked out of the study. Very quickly, someone walked in from outside and wanted to invite her out. Jiang Yuji's chest tightened and her vision turned black as she fainted. Thousands of miles away. Yan Qing rushed back, but she was still a step too late. The people from Peerless Palace had all been killed, and Rong Xiu had already brought the troops back. Yan Qing felt regretful that she couldn't laugh at Mo. But after seeing Mo's swollen face, she felt more comforted. Where's His Highness? He still had Ms. Lu Yu's letter, so he naturally had to present it as soon as possible. However, Rong Xiu wasn't around. Mo's face was swollen as he raised his chin and softly said, Peerless Palace was destroyed. The annihilation of the Peerless Palace has shaken all the divisions. Many have begun to impeach His Highness. Now all the elders are here and waiting in the main hall. His Highness just left. Yan Qing was shocked. All the elders are here? Why are they so fast? Mo snorted. Someone has long disliked His Highness. Now that they finally have a chance, why would they let it go? Yan Qing nodded with a serious expression. This day was bound to come. Since His Highness has already taken action, he naturally made preparations. This time, we should be able to clean up quite a lot of dirty things. Taiyuan Hall. All the elders were seated on both sides. The atmosphere in the hall was cold. His Highness Saint suddenly destroyed Peerless Palace this time. He's too stubborn. Why did he do this all of a sudden? Even if Peerless Palace did something wrong, he shouldn't be so cruel. All the tribes are talking about it now. They are all waiting for His Highness to give an explanation. Although His Highness the Chosen One has a strong fist, his actions are a little too much. A voice suddenly sounded, breaking the suffocating atmosphere. His Highness Saint has arrived. When the voice sounded, everyone immediately looked up at the entrance of the hall. A tall and slender figure, draped in a black cloak, exuding a cold and tough aura, walked in. Mobile users, please browse for a better reading experience from Love Network.